Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Khalil Doheny, and I'm the Director of Content Marketing at Digital Niche Agency. Today, we have Brett from Pixi Plus. Brett, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. And, people are trickling in. Really excited to have everyone here today. If you're, tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm currently in LA. It's a little gloomy out. Brett, where are you tuning in from?
Alexandria, Virginia, just outside of DC.
Nice, nice. And yeah, Brett, I'm just gonna hand the mic straight back to you and let's get this party going. If you want to, I know you have a presentation for us. Let's go through it and then we're gonna have some room at the end for some Q&A.
Absolutely. And can you confirm that the screen is being shared?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, great. Well, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Brett Bergen, the founder and CEO of Pixi Plus, a new and powerful app for your phone that makes it easy to find the next great movie or show to watch. We're going to talk about how we're working to make Pixi Plus the center of the streaming experience for millions of people in the US and worldwide, and how you can be a part of a growing investor community that's part of that journey. And so I'll present for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll just open it up for Q&A at the end. So without further ado, let's get started. So the streaming story began back in 2007 when Netflix decided to try a new way to reach customers, story we're all aware of, by streaming movies and shows over the internet directly to users. And so they were so successful that Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy just 3 years later, and the streaming wars really began. And so today there's about a dozen popular streaming apps that most of us are familiar with, such as Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and others. But there are actually over 200 streaming services from British TV apps like BritBox and Acorn, Hallmark and the Food Network, and really anything you can think of. And last year, about 85% of US households streamed. That's that's a lot of people. And they had an average of 4 paid subscriptions. And millions of people had six or more. I have nine. It's a little much, I know. I mean, I'm in the right business. And so that's in addition to the free apps out there like Freevee and Tubi. So tallying that up, it comes to over 250 million people in the US that stream. And it's part of an estimated 3.5 billion streamers worldwide and growing every single year. So with so many choices today, no wonder that 6 in 10 streamers are regularly frustrated when searching for what to watch. 2 in 3 people want to find content in just one place. I'm definitely one of those. And over half say that they want more personalized content. In addition to that, about 1 in 2 Americans say they're often overwhelmed by choices. And I know I've definitely had those days. Now, while there have been a few content aggregators out there for years, chances are you haven't heard of them. We believe that if they solved this problem, you probably would have, and we wouldn't see such a high level of frustration reported by over 100 million Americans out of the 250 million and 2 billion people worldwide out of that nearly 4 billion. So it's a problem so many people experience weekly, if not daily, as the average American watches over 20 hours of movies and shows per week and is always on the hunt for something new. I know that's probably pretty accurate for me. It certainly has gone down since we started the Pixi Plus app and this venture. So one of the world's leading consulting firms, Accenture, determined that if a company can figure out how to solve this problem in a smart way, it'll be one of the most important new players in the streaming industry. And my co-founder, Marvin, and I, we couldn't agree more and decided why not give everyone exactly what they're demanding. So we set out to build a new powerful app called Pixi Plus that lets you easily find personalized movies and shows to watch next across all of your streaming services in just one place. And not just for you, but for you and whomever you're watching with, be it, your spouse, partner, friends, parents-in-law, you name it. And, because we all know that when you're searching, not just for yourself, but more than one person, it can really be a nightmare. So we address that as well. We also make it fun and easy to share the movies and shows you love or just good finds, with other friends and other users. So the good news here is I'm proud to say that after a year or almost a year of development, the first version of our app is complete and is in internal testing. And if you haven't already, you can watch our full demo after the webinar. We'll be sure to share the link with you. It's only 3.5 minutes long. So from a business standpoint, they usually don't get as good as this. This is a relatively untapped market for a problem the majority of people in the US and the world experience frequently. We calculated our market opportunity with just ads and affiliate fees alone, which you'll see in the business model later, of up to $1.1 billion of annual revenue in the US, an additional 5.7 billion internationally. Again, these are potential annual revenues, not existing. And we did that by multiplying the existing annual revenue per user, or I should say the estimated annual revenue per user by that total frustrated user counts or streamer count. It's about 60% of users in the US and abroad. So that comes to, again, around over 100 million Americans and almost 2 billion people worldwide who have the problem we solve. There are still 4 in 10 people that I occasionally find who say, I don't have this problem, but 6 in 10 do. And we plan to monetize or begin monetization with targeted advertisements for new movies and streaming services, food delivery for movie nights, and other products and services related to entertainment, as well as affiliate fees for new streaming app signups. So that's over here on the left side. So the estimated annual user revenue from ads and affiliate fees alone in the US is $10.36, based on conservative assumptions on how often people use the app. Like once a week, just a very quick browse. I'm finding that my wife and I are using it every other day, if not daily. And we're looking at an average estimate of just about $4 per user internationally. So the US is the crown jewel of the market, and that's why we're starting there. So we later plan to integrate theater tickets for a percent of sales fee and the option for users to upgrade to a premium paid version of Pixi Plus. So that's on the right side here. And we think it's a little too early to estimate realistic values for these additional market opportunities, but they can be very significant, if not more than the ad and affiliate fee potential. And to get a sense of that potential opportunity with these 2 additional revenue streams, the average paid app subscription that people pay for right now is over $10 a month. And global box office sales in 2023 were 9 billion in the US and over 30 billion abroad. So that's about 40 billion total. If we can capture any of that, theater ticket sale percentage fee revenue through the app, that's a great opportunity. Regarding competition, here's the takeaway here. Well, beyond that, there aren't that many competitors. Some of these competitors have been out here for many years. I mean, TV Guide, we all know TV Guide. But the takeaway you can see from this chart is there's a good reason why so many people continue to be frustrated. We haven't found a single competitor that actually solves the customer pain points, and they lack social discovery features that reflect how we all organically share movies and shows with each other. So as you can see, we've addressed everything and more. I couldn't fit everything that we have accomplished in the app on this page. So now my co-founder Marvin and I are veteran entrepreneurs and bring all of the important skills to the table to make Pixi Plus successful. I'm a longtime entrepreneur and I have a master's in applied analytics from Columbia University. I'm skilled at designing mobile apps, and I've spent my entire career as a business, financial, and contract manager for high-tech software and hardware projects. Marvin is an experienced full-stack developer with a master's in computer science from Johns Hopkins. He specializes in cloud and backend development, data engineering and security, AI, machine learning, and data analytics. And he's been a founding engineer at multiple startups, worked at Microsoft, and he was a machine learning data engineer at Meta. He actually helped Meta even pioneer the Llama open source artificial intelligence model that's swept the world by storm. And now he's with us. So Pixi Plus kicked off in March 2023 after winning the DraftFit International App Idea competition. And then Marvin joined the team in May. We completed our minimum viable product in June and then launched our official website with a national press release in July. We completed a private beta version of the app in fall, and then signed an enterprise level contract in late December with the same service used by Google and Apple for movie, show, and artist data to power our recommendation engine. So that was a pretty big deal to be able to get that contract through. Actually, before I go over that, I want to talk a little bit more about where we are. We've completed the first round of usability testing, and we're now updating the app in preparation for public launch. As of today, we actually just officially hit the funding milestone needed to work on completing the app which we're thrilled about. So we're now over 40,000. The campaign was just launched recently, and we have months left to go. So we're doing great. And we get back to work on Monday. And we hope to launch this spring. It could be earlier or later, depending on how quickly we complete our fundraise and the beta testing with users. So now let's go on to those funding milestones. So to accomplish our goals, that first one we already hit, we're raising funding in those milestones rather than trying to raise the whole thing and wait. We're getting started with the milestones. And we need that to launch, run, and grow Pixi Plus for the next 18 months. We're doing it with something called a crowd raise. That's an official SEC sanctioned fundraising method. Companies like ours who can meet certain compliance requirements to raise funding from friends, family, and the general public. You don't have to be rich or a venture capitalist anymore to invest now in a company. You can be part of it for as little as a few $100s, although most put in more. The average we're seeing is about 1,200. We hit our first and most important milestone, 40K, again, between today and yesterday. So we're going to be working to complete the public launch version of Pixi Plus. So this is a great time to get involved. So once we hit our next milestone, just short of 80K, that's cumulative, so 40,000 more than we have now, we should be able to run a large scale beta with early users and have the resources to improve and optimize the app based on user feedback for a number of months, potentially 4 to 6 months. We'll see potentially longer. But what we really want to do is hit that 155K number. And that's out of a maximum 375K that we're selling in stock this raise. We don't want to give away more at this time. And we're confident we have the resources once we hit that 155K to run the app, not only in beta, but also publicly launch it for a year. So, once we hit that, we'll really shorten the beta period and get it out for public launch as soon as possible. And the more funding we receive after that 155K third milestone, the more features that we can implement from our roadmap. For example, the ability to use Pixi Plus as a remote control for your TV or streaming stick. So you can not only find something and see where it's streaming, but then hit a button and then tell it to play on your phone or the TV in your den or the TV somewhere else in your house. That's something that we've seen done, and we know how that works. It also means we can run the business for longer before the next fundraise with institutional investors or another crowd raise, which we plan for in the fall, intended at a much higher valuation than we're offering today. Again, that's intended. So to sum it up, there are so many reasons to join our journey, join us on this journey as an investor. Marvin and I are highly experienced experts, entrepreneurs, and complement each other really perfectly. We have a special relationship with a company called DraftBit for software engineering support after winning their international competition in 2023. We're targeting an enormous market, blue ocean market, with high customer demand and surprisingly limited competition, and not worried about our competitors. We have a clear business model with several planned revenue streams and very high estimated profit margins. Once we can meet our fixed costs, it's up and away. We already have a working product with a demo available, and we're now working to complete our final version for public launch. Everything gets going again on Monday now that we hit that milestone. We've also had incredible success testing our marketing on Facebook and Instagram lately, beating average campaigns by, actually now it's up to over 1,000%, and top performers by, what is it now, over 300%. So that's a significant amount of people clicking our ads to learn more about this. Our app is also easy to understand. I mean, it's streaming, help you find something to watch, right? So that means little or no customer education required. So that means low customer acquisition costs. Very easy for people to just share it organically. So if you're interested in joining our campaign, now is the perfect time, as we've just hit our most important funding milestone. And there are just a few days left where we can actually reward early investors with a 20% discount off of our stock price. So until Monday, our common shares are available on our crowdfunding page on Net Capital for $1.26 a share, and that's reduced from $1.57 a share. Share prices do go up after Monday, so just keep that in mind. But if you prefer to wait, you can just add us to your watch list. Just head over to our page. Here's the link up here. If you can't remember that whole thing, if you just Google Net Capital Pixi, will come up. We've been trending #1 on the site for quite a while as well. And so then you can just kind of follow along, see our announcements, and decide later if you'd like. If you haven't seen the demo yet, you can also visit this page right over here under updates. Just click that. You'll see our announcements. One of those is an announcement with our demo link, and you should check it out. For sure, it's only 3.5 minutes. All right, so I wanted to thank you so much for your time and for joining us. So let's open up for questions, Khalil. Just please note, everybody, I'm not allowed to give forward-looking statements like future stock price forecasts or revenue projections, unfortunately. But if you are an accredited investor, I am allowed to do that in a private call, but not for a Regulation CF crowd raise, unfortunately. I will just answer one question up front, Khalil, before we open it up, which is, again, like, why don't you have to be a wealthy individual or venture capitalist to invest in tech company? In 26, up until about 2016, you did. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission authorized a new vehicle called Regulation CF for popularly known as crowd raise, that allowed companies like us to raise friends from friends, family, general public, really anybody, but it just has to be in a highly regulated way. We went through a 2-month compliance process with our SEC registered portal, Net Capital, that included a CPA review of our financials, a third-party validation of all of our claims and statistics, and background checks on me and my co-founder to be approved for this crowd raise. So with that, now I'll open it up for questions. Go for it.
No worries. And before I jump into that, I'm gonna just drop the Net Capital link here in the chat. So if anyone wants to access it, they can
Thank you.
easily click it right there. Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead into some of these questions. The first one, it's what sets Pixi Plus apart from other streaming platforms in terms of content discovery?
Yeah, that's a great question. All right, let's go right back to the competitive landscape. So this is one way. There's a couple of our bigger competitors out there. First, searching multiple streaming services. Typically, the people that I know that use Just Watch, I've met 2 people in my life. They say, I use this when I'm not sure where something is playing. I go on the app, I just see where it's, and then I leave, and that's it. So that exists in a few places already. Personalized recommendations, that's where we start to get separated here. When you first sign up for Pixi Plus, first you tell it what streaming services you have. Then the next you have the option of giving, a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a heart on a number of genres. And they're pretty refined. Like, if some people really like anime but not animation, they are distinguished. One person told me, do you have film noir? We have to have film noir. We actually have that. So you can get pretty detailed on exactly what you like. You don't have to rate everything, even just you rate one, that helps us tremendously. The next screen you see is the option to click on any favorite artists. We have a well-researched list based on whoever you click there. If you click just one person you said is your favorite artist, tells us an enormous amount about you. If you're over 18 years old and you click Adam Sandler, there's a certain type of person that we know that you will like certain things. So we can really customize across all of your apps and personalize those results. The moment you get to your home screen, you're going to see, based on our learning algorithm, and again, Marvin's one of the best in the business at this, the top picks for you, new releases, things like that. You can also search for anything you want. When you hit the search screen, it's going to again show some of your top picks. But here's what really makes it apart, really distinguishes this. This is something that nobody has. You can add a friend to search. So if I have the app, my wife has the app, she has the app, I can just like on Instagram or something, find somebody, you add them to your search, it'll instantly update for everything that you and whomever you add to your search have in common, right? So this is going to save you so much time, searching through everything. And, as opposed to if you're sitting there searching the apps together, just think about Hulu. If anyone has Hulu, how hard it is to just find the damn trailer. Excuse my language. But everything is right there on Pixi. We have the trailer to practically everything. You can explore it together, instantly see it, click, watch the trailer, say add to list. You can make like a list for later or sort of a decision list for right then. You can add more people than one to this list. You can refine it. You can say I'm searching for just a comedy and just type in the search comedy. You can say zombie apocalypse, whatever. Um, we can just have that update for you based on the best fit for everyone watching. So that's what really got this whole thing inspired, is searching for more than one person. And that's what we do that no one else does. But we also have optimized the entire process. Um, I can keep going on and on, but watch the demo.
Yeah.
You seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Check the demo out on that Capital page, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and why this is really something special.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the personalization. How does Pixi Plus utilize, data and analytics to personalize recommendations for users?
Sure. So yeah, on that orientation screen, or the orientation part of, when you first sign up for Pixi, telling it what services you have or are interested in. When I say interested in, like the free ones, like 3B, 2B, things like that. Um, your favorite genres or genres you don't like. A lot of people don't like horror, so you can say, "Don't show me horror," for example, or you love it, and some of your favorite artists as well. And that's just to kind of kick it off and make those recommendations across all your apps. And currently, all of your apps, they don't talk to each other. Peacock has no idea if you've seen Mission Impossible or Jack Reacher on Paramount. They have no idea. But on Pixie Plus, um, if you're telling it what you're seeing, what you're watching, what you like, what you don't like, um, it's not going to show you things that you said you've seen before or that are already on your list. It's going to be this one-stop shop, um, and it's personalized not only for what you like, but also doesn't just show you things that you've already seen. It's just annoying. Um, and as as we continue and we upgrade our AI model, it'll get way more advanced. I don't want to get too technical, but basically we're looking at doing lookalike audiences, finding other users with similar tastes as you and using data analytics to figure out, and AI learning to figure out, okay, so people that liked Oppenheimer, they also tended to like Barbie. They're not really similar movies, but Barbenheimer was a 2023 phenomenon. And that's an example of that kind of cluster analysis as we get more users, that we can train the AI to actually pick up things that you might not even have realized that you'd be interested in, but based on other people like you that have similar tastes and things like that, you might just want to give it a go. It's also easy to share things with each other. So the more people that get on the app, um, friends, family, they're scrolling, they're seeing things, and they might say, you know what, this is pretty good. I've already seen it, but this would be great for Brett to see or for Khalil to see. And they can, in one click, just say share, and then it'll pop up in your messages. And so it's a combination of our AI engine and your friends and family who know you best. Some really niche quirks about you or what they can recommend to you. It's going to show up right in your messages. You can just click and say, "Oh wow, that's great." Hey, thanks, Khalil, for sending me that. I can like click right there, see a trailer, and add it to my list, watch it for later, whatever I want. I can make custom lists, by the way. I can save it, for like the holiday list, Halloween list. I always find great things to watch for Halloween in like February. And I'm like, I need to try to remember this, but I always forget. And now I could actually put it on like a Halloween list and not try to remember what app I put it on or anything. Just like it's on Pixie. And no matter where it's playing, 10, 9, oh my gosh, 8 months from now, at the next Halloween, I can just click it and Pixie will tell me, okay, now it's playing on Netflix. Before it was playing on Peacock or something. So I know I went a little bit more there, but that's the gist of it.
What algorithm and predictive analytics is being utilized for Pixie Plus? And is it proprietary technology that is built in-house, or is there third-party technology being utilized?
Gotcha. So we are able to license the raw data, and then we have our own AI engine. Right now at this stage, we're just using um, pretty simple. I mean, it's beyond simple, but it's still advanced for everything out there, as a recommendation engine. But we're using this funding round to then be able to add our own custom llama-based AI model. Again, Marvin helped Meta build Llama, and Llama is an open source AI model that we're putting on Google Cloud. We also recently were accepted into the Google Startups program, and they gave us a $100,000 credit for 12 months. So we now have that money to train this AI model, and we have all the data we need as well. We're also able to buy a couple million user data points from another service for dirt cheap for us to train that model way earlier than we thought we could, because before we have the millions of users. And so we'll be able to find those Barbenheimer opportunities pretty quickly in those cluster analyses. And but for you, it's going to be simple. It's just going to instantly say, these are the things we're recommending best fits for you. Proprietary, in a way. I mean, algorithms are tricky. The moment you publish them, somebody could just change a couple things, tweak it, and then they have it. So this is more like the Coca-Cola model or like the Spotify model. It's a trade secret. We are keeping it to ourselves of how we're recommending or how our AI engine works. Google is also, not sharing how their recommendation engine works, especially so people can't game the system and always make their search results, at the top, and they're constantly changing it so people don't game the model. So yes, we keep that as a trade secret, absolutely, and we'll protect that.
And I know you mentioned this a little bit during the presentation, but can you provide a little bit more insight into Pixi Plus's revenue model and monetization strategies?
Yes, absolutely. So again, we're starting with promoted titles and services. Actually, I have a visual of what this looks like in the appendix here. So these are some early graphics we use, but the app looks a heck of a lot like this. So this is your homepage, and this real estate, fantastic space to promote some titles for you. Titles, trailers, streaming services, things like that on the home screen, rotating every 5 seconds. But you're never going to see mops for Home Depot. It has to be highly, highly relevant to not only cinema and entertainment, but also to you. If you said you didn't like horror, we're not going to advertise a horror, promote a horror show for you. If you said you really love action movies, then when Fast and the Furious 20 drops, maybe that's something that we agree to promote to you, and you enjoy it. Just like we all kind of like watching trailers when we go to the movie theater. That's that kind of organic, that native promotion is how we do that. And then, so down here you can see, there's the home page, search, favorites, accounts. That's the social component in your messages. So when you go on your search screen, this is typically the second place you may go, unless you clicked somewhere here to view a title. Again, we show, just like the homepage, just slightly different format, a big promoted title, trailer, streaming service, things like that right here. There might be one or two promoted like kind of sponsored options for you. But again, only if it's highly relevant, we really think it's a natural fit for you as well. We'll never push something on any user that isn't, kind of like Google does the relevant results. And so right away, any user that comes on is probably going to already see 2, 3 ads. And if they click it, the cost per click is upwards of 60 cents per click in the US. It's really, really good. If someone, clicked a promotion for a movie that's coming out in theaters soon, and then we can also get to the point where we're now allowing theater ticket integration, and they can buy the theater tickets through us as well. Then we get as an additional fee from percent of sales. So that's pretty great business, really natural, real smooth. And then also in your profile, you'll come here on occasion to add or change services, update your preferences based on your interests and what you've been liking and adding to watch lists. We can say, what, they really like kind of gritty stuff, which is really in line with FX users, and FX is owned by Hulu. They can access that by via Hulu. We're going to recommend Hulu to you. And then you might be like, huh, I wonder why they're recommending that. And this is only if you don't have it, right? You can click learn more and we'll say, based on the following things, we think you'll really like this one. And here's a bunch of example movies and shows that you don't have access to yet, we think you'll love. And you might be like, wow, that's a great idea. Click. And then we get about, on average, $9 for every affiliate fee sign up there. We can also, on occasion, we have to be careful not to spam people, occasionally send a promoted message right in your notifications. It has to be highly relevant to you as well, and targeted from a campaign like, let's say, Disney Plus wants to get more users of who really like certain genres, maybe users who really love animation and action and other things like that, and they are not Disney Plus users, and they're of a certain age. Disney Plus may have some sort of special promotion that we can target to certain users. But again, we'd be very limited with this to really not interrupt the enjoyable user experience. And we also have some ideas on how to give some really, really this is already game changing, but like next level game changing stuff with AI and perhaps a premium version of the app. Initially, I'm thinking, something just inexpensive, like $1.99 a month, where it's almost a no-brainer to do something that's just so amazing. If you think about it, this is many, many millions of people have these problems. And if we had 100 million users across the world and 10% of them decided to upgrade to premium, that's a significant amount at $2 a month of revenue right there, for instance. So really, really great business model opportunities here.
And then
Thanks for your question.
yeah, how large is the current beta testing group? And is there a way for an investor to be part of that group?
Absolutely. If you are an investor or you signed up for the wait list, we're going to invite you once it's ready. So we're not doing beta testing with like beta user testing. It's actually just easy enough. Like it's on my phone. I can just use it and see exactly what needs to be fixed. It's overkill to get hundreds of people to try it and tell me what needs to be fixed, just because it's so easy already. Like it's so close to being finished. So we're just tweaking that in the coming weeks, and then we want to open it up to hundreds, if not thousands of people. And yes, investors would be able to join that.
And then, instead of, you can't really talk too much about the future, but can you provide any insights into Pixi Plus's long-term vision and goals for the future?
Sure, I actually put some features on the horizon here. So if we're just looking at features, we can talk more about everything else, vision, goals. But feature sets, one thing, we absolutely want to make sure that Pixi Plus becomes like the app that everyone is using to find the next thing to watch, and not only find but then play. And so Amazon's going to hate us because they've been trying to put their Fire Stick in every home. So the very first thing you see is all of their sponsored stuff in their interface. But if we have people using Pixi Plus, it's way easier to search for things on your phone and quickly type and not like do over here A, over here B, to search, or talking to Alexa and it never figures out what you're really trying to do and it goes to the wrong profile. So much easier to do on your phone. And if we could get people to use Pixi to figure out what to watch, we capture all those ad dollars and activate all of our business model opportunities while delivering a far superior service to users, and even helping them find not only exactly what to watch with on their existing services, but maybe some other services that could really even be a hit out of the park for them that they'd like even more, and just be able to easily click play, use it as a remote control. And that's not a pipe dream, and we know how to make that happen. And then next step is also putting it as a TV app on your TV, so you can have that native TV experience if you'd like as well. We're also looking at if you have children, maybe you don't want them to have a Pixi Plus account or they don't have a smartphone, it's understandable. You can add proxy accounts for your household and just say like, yeah, I'm going to add my kid, Kylie. She's under 13. She likes animation, this or that, whatever. And you can add your kid's account in your search, for instance. You could also do that for an elderly parent, for example. We're also looking to integrate cable and sports. That's going to be really big. So moving beyond streaming, a lot of people really like to watch sports and they're wondering where the heck can they find. I just talked to somebody else the other day. They're like, I don't even know where I can find like the NBA shows I'm trying to watch. Um, and being able to integrate that and also tell us what cable channels you have. So you can take advantage of what you're already paying for on cable. Maybe it's not available on streaming, but it's on cable. We want to integrate that. We're also going to we want to put out watch weeks, just create kind of cultural phenomenon. Like many of us are familiar with Shark Week and all the hype around that, and it's really fun. We also want to really drive engagement around certain weeks. Hulu does this already for like Huluween, for example, and it's just a lot of fun and something we really want to do. And then, of course, with the business model, just integrating. Once we hit about 1 million active users, we can start integrating those ads and affiliate fees into business or from the business model into the app, and then as soon as possible, really get in the theater ticket sales and the premium version of the app as well from a business opportunity. We want to get to revenue as soon as we can. And either way, we do plan on doing another fundraise in the fall for a much larger amount of funding after we show at least 3 months of solid growth, out there and really get investors, on our side. We pitched a famous investing group just last week called the Syndicate, and our goal was, because we're too early for them, our goal was to get on their radar and develop a relationship and have them interested in the next round. And that is exactly what happened. So we're already starting to kind of stack investors up for that, so we can really move fast from there. So that's some features on the horizon. Really, our vision to be the center of the entire streaming experience. Where you go to find what to watch next, and the interface to play and to surface content and to share it with other users, and just be in a fun and engaging place.
Can you talk a little bit more about the leadership team? What really sets you, Brett, and your co-founder apart from other founders?
Sure. Well, there's few people I think more passionate than myself about streaming. Especially the last 4 years, my wife and I were on COVID lockdown. We still are. It's unique kind of health issue in the family. And so streaming has become a very big part of our lives. So we have over 9 of them. And, you know, we felt this problem so deeply of what do we watch next, and spending hours trying to find something to watch together. I really wanted to watch Vikings and World War II movies, and she wants something lighter, of course, and trying to find that. So starting with the passion, but both Marvin and I have previous entrepreneur experience, previous experience with ventures, the good and the bad. It's important to have both. I was reading a Startup Nation is about Israeli startups. They won't even investors don't even want to talk to you unless you have 2 failures under your belt. But I wouldn't say we've had failures, so maybe we wouldn't be invested in Israel. But in addition to that, everything I said about my experience before, I can give another example of something I did with me and just a few other people in DoD with not a very large budget. We were able to retrofit the entire U.S. Coast Guard fleet with Navy weapons and sensors and modify an advanced hardware combat system, hardware, software, and human integration, just for those they call them cutters, not ships or boats. And we were a team of like 5 guys, I was the only financial manager, and I also managed contracts of over 104, about 140 engineers for almost 5 years. Um, and I was also relied on as a technical expert at the time. So in comparison, this is way less stressful, way easier. And then for Marvin, you're looking at one of the best, back-end engineers, AI people that there are helping to build Llama, which is one of the most popular open source AI models in the world. Um, and Marvin also has extensive leadership experience from a technical leadership experience as a founding engineer in these startups and as a manager. Um, and I've also managed quite a bit.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'll leave it there.
And can you discuss any potential strategic partnerships Pixi Plus is considering to accelerate growth?
Yeah, we have a special partnership right now with DraftBit um, for front end development. It started with us winning that international app idea competition with them, and we have been able to move this fast with such an advanced app because of them, because of their platform being this no code yet a Turing complete solution, which means you can build anything that a normal coder could in this. It's not limited with optimized code, so it isn't something we have to worry about going back and kind of fixing later, like Amazon did for a certain amount of years in their history. And we so part of that special relationship, we get their best people on our project, and for a very nice discount, and it's for life. So that's a great relationship we have. We also have a relationship with Real Good for Business, which is one of just a few companies in the world that provide that raw movie show and artist data, raw data, license it to companies like ours, and we negotiated a really good price on that. Um, Whereas typically you're looking at about 150,000 for say IMDb for that data. We're getting it at half that price. We've also Real Good also doesn't even have some data that we think is really critical, and we have developed our own proprietary ways of getting that data. And or I wouldn't say proprietary, I'd say trade secret. We're not trying to put it out there as a patent, so we don't want people to know how we're doing it. But we are doing everything legally, and um, there are other partnerships that we're interested in exploring, but that we want to kind of keep on the down low for now.
Awesome. And Brett, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. But what would you say to someone who's on that fence of becoming an investor into Pixie Plus? What would you say to them to, hopefully get over that fence?
I'd want to know what the objection is. Um, Man, I haven't. So what I have experienced is most people just need to see it. They just need to see it. And once I show it to them, once they see the demo, if they've heard even close to everything that you just heard today, um, they're in. Um, I've had people grill me with some really advanced investor questions as well, accredited investors as well. Talk about go over my revenue projections and user growth model and with a fine tooth comb and passed every test there. So most people, they just want to see it. So I would say go see it. Go see the demo. Go on our page. Go to the updates tab. Watch the demo. And if you do have any more questions, there's a discussion tab right next to it. Just pop me a question. Everyone's unique in what they want to know. But I think if you listen to even half of what we said here today and you check that demo out, um, if it's not for you to invest, you probably just have a general aversion to um, you know, investing in the startup or anything, and that's okay. That's okay. But this really is a great opportunity, and we're seeking a significant amount of funds as a crowd raise. Our minimum is $250. I mean, no one has actually done that low yet. The average is about 1.2K, and some people have actually now invested twice. 1,000 here, 1,000 there. But yeah, it's an easy way to do it. I also say that we started with our friends and family, right? That's who we're starting with to build that momentum. Because most investors want to say, if your friends and family think it's a good idea first, right? Like, and can you look your friends and family in the face and say, I'm giving you, I'm promising you, I'm going to do everything that I can to work for you to make this huge and add a value where you're actually going to have a benefit from. These are people that I'm going to see. I'm a young guy. I'm going to see these people for the rest of my life. I don't want to I want to be greeted with claps and champagne bottles and not be disinvited from every family gathering for the rest of my life. So that's what's at stake. I'm working my butt off. Me and Marvin are working our butts off. Draft it's working their butts off, and every day to make this happen for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Brett, I think we could wrap it there. Is there any final thoughts you want to say before we sign out here today?
No, I think I just want to make sure we respect everyone's time after 45 minutes. Just thank you so much, and I'll just quickly go over again. Land on this page. Our net capital page looks like this. Again, this is where the campaign is hosted. You can see a little fundraising video there, kind of recap a little bit of what we talked about today. It's less than 3 minutes. Go to our updates to find the demo. Pop me any questions you want in the discussion, and you can see a lot of what you saw here today as well under the pitch tab, or basically you just scroll down once you're here. And if you are ready to join, a lot of people have made the mistake of funding their wallets and thinking that they invested in us. They that doesn't That's not how it works. You basically, if you did that, you funded your account and it just sits in your account. And then you have to decide where to put it. So easiest way to avoid that and avoid extra steps is just click the yellow button that says invest. And I will just say a few people have asked me, why does it need certain information about me, like my net worth and stuff? I will, again, just remind everybody that Net Capital is an SEC registered broker dealer for a fundraise like this. It's a very compliant fundraise. And the questions it asks is to confirm your identity and to calculate the SEC, a maximum that you're allowed to invest in Regulation CF companies within a given year. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to ask you for some information to make sure that you're not exceeding your maximum for any particular year, and just confirm that you are who you say you are. Kind of, anti-money laundering laws, things like that. And it could take as fast as 2 minutes. If you're doing a small amount, a credit card is very convenient, but they do charge about a 3% fee. That's also the fastest, but you can also just do it via your bank accounts, which is what some of my family has done especially for larger amounts. It probably adds 4 minutes to it. It's not that bad. Yeah, it goes into escrow, by the way, and not us. It goes into escrow, and you're notified. You're given days in advance before we would be, withdrawing it, so we could pay the team, and hit all those milestones that we talked about. You'd have that opportunity to change your mind, increase, decrease, or withdraw it entirely, which we really hope you don't do. But just so you know as well, it's not a final decision when you click that button. It goes into escrow. You're notified before we would make a withdrawal to fund operations.
Awesome. Well, Brett, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to go through this. And everyone who attended, thank you so much. If you wanted to relive this webinar or you're watching it for the first time, this whole webinar has been recorded. So we will be posting a replay on the Net Capital page in the coming days. Hope everyone has a good rest of their day.
Great. Thanks.